The historic preservation community has lost a good friend and national leader. Mark Rodman, who joined the National Alliance of Preservation Commission's Board of Directors in 2020, died on June 15, 2022. Mark dedicated his career to historic preservation, and his passion for and dedication to the field sparked many successors across the country. His sense of humor, enthusiasm, and warm voice earned him instant friends. We valued Mark as a kind and fair man who was generous with his time and expertise. Trudy Sandmeyer, a fellow NAPC board member, recalled meeting him in graduate school. He was a ringleader from day one, organizing road trips and our amazing student alumni work project stabilizing buildings on Ellis Island. He deeply cared about the many places he lived and worked and threw himself into each project wholeheartedly. I always looked forward to our long chats about his many adventures, and there were many. He was a leader in our field, a true believer, and a tireless worker. He made a difference, and he will be profoundly missed by the many people whose lives he touched. Personally, I feel his loss deeply. He was a true friend. Mark was originally from South Carolina, but spent most of his career in his adopted states of North Carolina, Colorado, and Michigan. He had a profound impact on historic preservation, working in the private sector, the nonprofit world, and in state government. After earning a master's degree in historic preservation planning from Cornell University, Mark joined the staff of Preservation North Carolina, where he was Chief Operating Officer. Mark then served as Executive Director of Colorado Preservation Incorporated, the statewide nonprofit organization for historic preservation. In his 7 years there, Mark helped increase awareness of Colorado's endangered places, New Deal resources, and historic and archaeological resources in southeastern Colorado. In 2006, the National Trust for Historic Preservation awarded CPI the Trustees Award for Organizational Excellence for its sustained and superlative achievement in historic preservation. Abby Christman, NAPC board member, remembered Mark, who she first met at CPI. He was demanding, but never asked more of others than he himself would do, working many more hours than any of his employees. Mark was infamous for being late, but it was because he was always trying to squeeze one more thing in. Mark quickly became a mentor, a cheerleader, and personal friend. Even after we had both moved on to other jobs, Mark still called me to help out with all sorts of tasks. He excelled at roping people into projects, presentations, and the like. But you knew that if Mark asked, it was a worthwhile endeavor, and that he would be there the next time you needed help. His energy, problem-solving skills, dedication, stubbornness, and sense of humor will be profoundly missed. Mark worked as a preservation consultant and in the real estate field for several years before joining History Colorado, where he was Director of Preservation Programs and the Deputy State Historic Preservation Officer. In 2019, he became Executive Director of the Michigan Historic Preservation Network, where he continued the organization's effort to pass legislation reinstating Michigan's State Historic Tax Credit Program. At the time of his death, Mark was the Michigan State Historic Preservation Officer. The State Historic Tax Credit Program he worked hard to revive was relaunched the week he died. Mark's contributions to NAPC were significant and enduring. After joining the board, he recruited no less than 3 new members who now lend their expertise to the organization. His nonprofit management expertise also helped NAPC improve its processes and policies. Mark was instrumental in developing the Alliance's awards program at the 2020 Virtual Forum, recognizing the work of individuals and commissions across the country. Mark understood that historic preservation was a long game, one with many setbacks but ultimately many rewards. He particularly championed the work of preservation leaders at the local level, always encouraging them and celebrating their successes, small and large. Mark's colleagues truly valued his counsel and advice as a respected member of the historic preservation field. His achievements and the fond memories we share of this remarkable individual are part of Mark's lasting legacy.